What's going on, everybody? This is your boy Darius Fentress, and I'm so glad that you are back with me in the studio for another episode. Y'all, I want y'all to go and like and subscribe to this channel. Please do it. Tell someone about this platform. You know, I've had some great guests on, and it's just been so amazing, and I'm so excited to be doing this. I never thought in a million years that I would be talking a lot. I don't talk a lot, guys. For those people who know me, this is more talking than I've ever done in my entire life, but I enjoy so much. This has been it's been a life-changing experience for me to be on this platform, to just give you guys amazing content. And remember, please go like, share, subscribe to this channel. Go listen on your favorite audio podcast platform. I'm everywhere, and I just want y'all to be blessed. And today, this might be the most special episode that I've ever done. And I say that because she's amazing in all facets of her life. She's an amazing recording artist. She's a voiceover artist. She's a podcast personality. She's a leadership guru. And she just has so much wisdom, and I'm so glad that she's on this show, and she happens to be my wife. Y'all give it up for LANEshia. What's going on, babe? How you doing?
I am great. Thank you so much for that fabulous introduction. Sometimes I forget some of the things that I do. So thank you for the humble reminder. And thank you for having me on your show.
Well, you know
It's been a
what?
long time coming.
Yeah,
I'm just kidding.
it's a long time coming. It's really overdue, but thank you, because you are a very busy person. You know, you have your own platforms that you host and everything that you do, and we get into all of that. So thank you again for being in the studio with me. And it's your studio too, but you know, you in the studio with me today.
I'm on your show today, so it's all good. It's
Yes,
all good.
yes. And y'all, this is special because if y'all are listening on the day that this episode debuts on Monday, May 20th, May 20th is a special day, y'all. May 20th is the day that we got married. And we are celebrating,
How many years ago?
yes, we're celebrating 17 years of marriage. Does it feel like
And you're still here.
yeah, does it feel like it's been that long?
You know what? No, yes and no. Like, no more than yes. Time goes by really, really fast. And time not only goes by fast, but we're very, 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 busy people. So we don't sit around and watch the clock. You know what I mean? Like,
Mm-hmm.
we're not marking, okay, here we go. And I'm not judging anybody who does, because some people do. That's something that they like to do, a pastime, but we don't have to. So, yes, 17 years and you're still here. So, thank you.
I wouldn't, there's no
I
other
didn't run
place
you
I would
off.
rather be. No,
Well,
no other
praise
place.
the Lord.
It's been
Thanks.
it's been
Thank you.
amazing 17 years with you. We definitely have grown a lot. We're certainly not the same people we were when we got married, that's for sure.
Ooh, I want to know, like, what does that look like? Are we going there? Like, how am I different from the person that you married 17 years ago?
Well,
Am I putting you on the spot on your show?
a little bit, but that's a great question to
Okay.
ask. That's a great question.
Okay.
And guys, we're going to talk about how we met because it has to do with the studio. We get into that, but to answer the question, I want to say that you are a more elevated self. You know, your essence, your
Okay.
essence of who you are has not changed. You've always been a caring person, very passionate. You love people hard, you know, all those good things. And you're a great mother. You're a great Lala, y'all, because we got
Thank you.
grandkids. Jesus.
Yep. Well,
And but yeah,
yeah.
you're just a better you. And I've
Thank
gotten
you.
a chance to see you
Appreciate that.
grow a lot, you know, and through good times, through bad times, through, even harder times, but you've been consistent, and but you're the best wife a man could ever ask for. I'm super blessed.
Thank you very much. You are absolutely blessed.
Yes, yes.
You definitely, I'm just kidding. People are probably like, dang, girl. Yeah, I'm blessed. I'm equally as blessed, if not more. So thank you. Thank you for your kind words. I'm doing my best to not host your show. So I'm really just know that I'm over here fighting to stay in my lane. Shameless plug for my
you
brand and name,
you
but
can't help it. You can't help it, babe.
I can't. It's
That's who
I'm
you are.
I'm doing I'm in front of the camera and behind the camera simultaneously at all times. So forgive me. No, I'm just kidding. Thank you for your kind words. Thank you for the opportunity today to be on your platform. I never assume just because we're married that I should be on your show. In fact, I've just enjoyed watching, being a consumer of your content. So congratulations. And you went from not talking
Mm-hmm.
at all
Yep.
to talking a lot. But the difference is when you speak, wisdom shows up, knowledge shows up, and good heart, intention, and helping people, which is really ultimately what we're about. So
Yeah.
thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Hey, babe, you've seen my I don't know what you want to call it, transformation, growth. Like I said
Yeah.
before, I don't talk a lot, but this season is different for both of us. God has given us some unique opportunities, and we're just trying to use it the best way that we can with excellence. If it's one thing that I know about us that we prioritize in our marriage and in everything we do, it's excellence. That
Oh,
is,
yeah.
we
Absolutely.
can't have it any less than that.
Yep. Amen to that.
Yeah.
And
So
thank you for that.
absolutely. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about how we met in the studio. My show is called In the Studio with Darius Fentress, and we met in the studio back in 2006.
Yep.
Can you just
Wow.
can you just walk us through like what was going on in your life at that time, and how did you get into that recording studio that we met in that day?
Wow. Okay. So I'm going to tell the people my version of our story, and I know that you have your
Yep.
own. Both of them we consider the truth.
Mm-hmm.
I used to ask people, do you want to know the truth or do you want otherwise? But we're going to tell you the truth. So, 2006, I was the conductor of the Hot Mess Express, and I was at a place in my life where I was like done with a whole lot of things, relationships included, and I was just done. And so I wasn't bitter about it. It was just an executive decision that I made over my own life. Okay. Probably an inner vow. And so I get a phone call, fast forwarding to getting to the studio where we met. I get a phone call from a mutual friend of ours, you and I, and she's like, hey, they're having these auditions. I want you to come. And I was like, no, I am not doing that. And so I can't remember how the conversation went after that. And then I got a call the following day, and she was like, "Hey." And here's what's unique about that phone call is that I didn't know her as well as I knew who she was married to at the time,
Mm-hmm.
just because of our music community. And so to get a call from her for an audition was like, okay, wow, thank you. And of course, our families over the years have been close. It's just that she and I hadn't had a chance to really spend a lot of time together. And so I'm just trying not to say names, I guess. And so, anywho, so I call a friend of mine who's a pastor in Kenya. I was like, hey, I got this call twice now. And I said no, but I feel like I need to go for some reason that's beyond, why I'm being asked to be there. And so she agreed to meet me at the house where the studio is. And so we met there, we went in, we had a great time. I'm fast forwarding a lot of things. Like I completely lost my voice.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm there for an audition. and I had no voice. And I want to say that I was singing, Michael Bethany was on the piano. I want to say I was singing, "What God has for me, it is for me." That I had no tone, no, it was like, "What God?" Like, it sounded like it was horrible. Anyways, well, after the audition, we got invited to come back to hang because you guys were doing a big show here in Dallas, and we went, and you and I never stopped talking along the way. So we've been literally having a conversation since 2006, and we somewhere along the lines got married in 2007. So I know that was like high level, but I'll let you fill in any details that you feel are necessary for our people. So,
Oh yeah, you
yeah.
glossed over a whole lot of stuff.
Oh gosh. Okay, so this is why I asked people which version of the story you want. So, is there anything that I left out that you feel like is important for me to share with people that I'm not recalling right now?
Well, no, I give my part. You could just jump in when you feel like interjecting, like how you were your
Okay,
perspective of things. So yes, all of
got
that,
it.
all that stuff that you said, was going on for you to get there. For me, I was recently moved to the DFW area. By that time, I think I wasn't even here for a year yet. I think maybe 8 months, 7, 8 months, maybe.
Oh wow.
Because it
Okay.
was it was like the midsummer when we met of '06, and I moved in November of '05, the end of November at that,
Mm.
so it was almost December. So you're right. There was an audition going on at the studio that I worked at, and that particular day was interesting because it was hot. I remember that, and my little cousin, we had the same name. We were hanging out at the house. He was so much younger. He's a grown man now, but we were hanging out outside all day in a swimming pool, just chilling, having fun. And I knew that there was an audition, some people was coming by later, and my job, I was basically like the studio manager. I was like the house engineer, so I had to be available for that. And so I'm getting out the swimming pool. I go, get myself together, shower, dress, all that kind of stuff. And I'm heading upstairs to the studio. And you had to walk into one room and then kind of turn left to get into the next part of the room where the studio is. And so I walked in, and when I made that left turn, and I seen these two ladies sitting on the couch, and specifically when I saw you, I was smitten, as they say. I was
That's
yeah, I
hilarious.
was smitten, and like literally, no joke. I was like, I'm forsaking everything, anybody else that may think they have a chance,
Ooh,
no chance at all, because I'm
shut it down.
before we even had a conversation, I said to myself, I'm going to figure out, number one, if you're available, and if you are, what do I have to do to pursue you? I was just blown away
Mm.
because you're such a beautiful is not even like, that's not even like, you can't describe you just saying beautiful. You're beyond that, and this everywhere we go. People to this day, oh wow, there you go with the hearts.
I didn't know it was going to do that. King is going to
Oh
love this.
God,
King, if you're watching,
there we go.
mm,
Okay.
I love it.
but it was really like that though for me. Like I saw you, and it was like
Yeah.
hearts just was coming out. I was like sprung like that right away. So so
Did you say
I said
wow?
sprung, like I went back on that one. But
90s. Okay.
but so we go through the audition process, and I remember you
Mm,
singing and whatnot. You're telling the truth. You did not have a voice,
mm,
but I didn't care. I wouldn't. I was just trying to figure out, how am I going to ask this girl for her number? Because where I come from, you got to get the number. That's all that matters. So we're talking, and we're like having a good time because I mean, babe, you're a personable person. Like people feel comfortable with you all the time, anywhere you are. It does not matter. You know how to make people feel good, and so I felt that. And so we're talking, and so I go to ask you for your number and tell the people what happened next.
Well, you asked me for my phone number, and I gave you my email address. I had
Okay,
a black, huh?
hold on one second.
Read.
Read.
That's what that felt
I'm
like.
sorry, but I just got to interject real quick.
Okay.
That felt like an immediate rejection right there. So okay, but I didn't know. So okay, you gave me your email address.
Yeah, because I had a BlackBerry. Man, I miss my BlackBerry. I had a red one. And would you guess? And the fastest way to get in touch with me was email because I was always in an environment where I could not be on the phone or you know what I mean, or I'd be in a loud environment, considering the things that we do, right? And entertainment. And so I'm like, the fastest way to contact me is this email address. Boom. But I didn't know that that came across as like a dig or like, like I was shunning you away or
Yeah.
I didn't want you to have my number. So, yeah.
Yeah, you did not know that, but that's what it felt like to
Mm-mm.
me. And so
Yeah.
so I was distraught. I was distraught. So y'all
And I
left,
had no idea.
right? Y'all
Yep.
left and our mutual friend that you mentioned, I think a group
Mm-hmm.
of us we were about to go out to the movies or something. And so
Y'all were.
I called her on the way. I said, "Hey, listen, I don't know what I need to do, but can you please just let LANEshia know that I'm really interested in her and I would like to get to know her more." And so then what happened next?
So y'all made it to the theater by this point, and she calls me. I'm like, "Hey, girl, what's up?" Now I feel like she's practically one of my best friends. Although she, like I said, we didn't know each other all that well, but our families, had been connected for quite some time. And she was like, "Hey, girl," it's like, "Hey," she goes, "Darius is over here losing his mind over you." I said, "That Negro got my information. Tell him to call me." Because in my head, you can reach me, through my BlackBerry. I don't know what was going on. Why? I don't know why. Then maybe I put my number on there. And no, I didn't. I gave you my email address.
Mm-hmm.
I just said, "Tell him to call me." And then you called me. We talked for a few minutes, and then y'all went to see whatever movie y'all were going to see. And you know what? Now that I think about it, I did not get invited to the theater that night, but okay. So
You know
there's
what's
that. And then
you know what's
what?
crazy about that? I don't even remember why you weren't invited cuz I would have loved that.
Because you didn't invite me.
Yeah, cuz
That's that's
I
that's
felt
why.
rejected. That's why.
Okay, so we're gonna deal with the rejection issues.
Yeah.
I get it. Okay.
Yeah.
We're healed now, thank God.
Yeah.
That's funny to me. So yeah, so then okay, I guess the next day, ooh man, Jesus, I need a calendar for all this. So then the next day was when we came back over to the studio and took the tour bus to the venue where you guys were doing the show.
Mhm.
And oh my God, it was incredible. And you offered to give me a ride home.
Yep.
And I was excited about that because my dog was there. And I was raised with dogs. So I felt like, everybody loves dogs and especially big ones.
Nope.
So I was like, "Oh, this is great. I'll bring you, you can meet Honey." That was my dog's name at the time. "You can meet Honey." And I'll never forget bringing Honey outside to meet you. And I have never seen you move so fast. You jumped like a high jump
Oh yeah.
into your car or your truck. And I was like, "What's wrong?" And you're like, "Yeah, I don't do dogs." I was like, "I don't know how this is going to work because
Hey,
dogs are a part of my life."
the
Yeah.
I take a reference from the Bible. The Bible says that Jesus he looked past the cross because he knew the joy that set before him on the other side. I wasn't about to let no dog stop me from being with you. So
Not the way you jumped up in that truck because
hey,
I was like, "Oh, this
look,
is legendary right here. Legendary, like Michael Jordan jump." Like,
Hey, that's
I was
just how
like,
we grew
wow.
up. We didn't grow up with dogs. Well, we grew up running from
Yeah.
dogs. So,
And see,
yeah,
I grew up calling them to me because I always had dogs.
right.
Yeah,
But
that's funny.
that's one of the hurdles I had to get over in order to pursue you, which I was very serious about. Like, so we talked about that night. We go to the event that y'all rode with us on the tour bus over.
Yep.
Now, I know you've already had some experience in the music industry. How often had you been on a tour bus before that time?
You know what? Gosh, I want to say that that might have been my first time on that type of bus.
Okay.
It because y'all's tour bus is a real tour bus, not like I'm not gonna mention this artist name, that it wasn't the sit up bus.
Oh
You
God.
guys, you guys, y'all know what it is.
Right.
Y'all had bunks and bathroom, kitchen, and
Right. Right.
the suite for the artist. I know I'm very protective of our family and names and stuff like that, but I can say, and people know by now, I'm talking about Fred
Yeah.
Hammond. And so, yeah, y'all had a real tour bus.
Yeah. Yeah. We did.
So,
Even though we were,
and so, yeah, that was like my first time ish, I think.
yeah, and it wasn't a long
Yeah.
drive. It was only like maybe a 25-minute drive, but still.
Yeah, but there were a lot of us though. I mean, it was all the singers, the band,
Right.
and anybody else that was, a part of you guys' crew before I, joined the family.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so we were all together, which was a fun experience for me. And I was grateful and it was gracious for Fred to invite us to come back and hang because he just got a big old heart like that. He's just cool. So,
Absolutely. Absolutely. And
yeah,
it was really
yeah.
cool for me because we got a chance to really connect and talk at the event.
Hmm.
When we came
Yeah.
back to where we all met up to get on the bus, we all parked. I offered to take you home. How did you get there? Did you ride with?
I think I rode with my friend there because we
Okay.
met at the house.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. I want to say, yeah, 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 that's what it was. And then you offered to give me a ride home. Now, here's something I want to go back to that's coming back to me is, when we exchanged information, I did it thinking, oh, this is great. Here's another audio person because I'm an audio chick. So here's another audio person, iron sharpeth iron, meet a new friend, learn some new things, and we can have this beautiful exchange in the audio world. And then, our conversation shifted.
It did, and look,
Yeah.
I'm gonna say this because, and you know this about yourself. You,
What?
like I said, you are a very welcoming person. You People
Hmm.
feel comfortable around you. You actually have a lot of male friends, actually. Like I would, so,
Yeah,
and most of them are more. They're like confidants. They're like brothers, really. And
I love my guys.
yeah, so I don't look at it lightly that I was the only one that actually broke through. I was the one that,
Oh my God.
like, you actually like was like, this is more than a brother.
Honestly, okay, without me going in all this, there are even levels to that. There are certain people that you'll never hear me refer to as a brother because they are in the friend zone with me.
Right.
Or maybe they are a brother, or maybe they're yeah, I have learned recently through one of our dear, dear friends that I have the ability to adopt in ways that some other people might not be ready for.
Right.
But but the other thing to that is I've been around guys my whole life, especially because of this industry. And the other side to that is most of the men in my life, if not all of them, have been very, very protective of me,
Hmm.
very safe spaces for me. And so I'm kind of spoiled. I know if any of them are watching right now, they're probably like, yeah, amen. I'm kind of spoiled in that I can go to a place and see one of my guys there, one of my homies, my brothers, or whatever. And I'm like, oh, I'm good because they're watching me the whole time.
Right. Right.
And they're making sure that Lane's good. So shout out to my bros, my homies, my friends,
Yeah. Look,
my brothers.
I don't bring that up to try to sound like I'm haughty or anything, but what was
Mm-mm.
it? What was it about me that you felt like you could take that to the next level? because
You know,
we gonna get to it, but so that night we talked all night. Like we are walking
we
around your
did.
complex, we're just chopping it up, and we had an immediate connection. Like what was different
Yeah.
about me?
You know what? And this is, I'm just gonna say it because
Yeah.
I shoot straight. I didn't date guys like you.
Mhm.
You were probably like, you're just a different type of guy. You know what I mean? And it had to be God because I'm gonna go back to the space I was in. I wasn't gonna be in a relationship with anybody. I that ship had sailed.
Mhm.
Okay. So I wasn't focused on that. And I think that's part of it is that I wasn't in a position or a posture where I was looking to be in a relationship with somebody. I was good.
Mhm.
Or maybe I wasn't. God was like, let me help this girl out. Darius, you were different than anybody. And I didn't think about that till later. It was really like a natural progression, if you will. It almost felt like this beautiful fade into this glorious mix. Okay.
Mhm.
And I remember you coming to the church that I was working at the time, and everybody was like, I want to say they felt a sense of relief. Like my parents was like, oh,
Mhm.
breath of fresh air. All of these things matter. I was a single mom at the time.
Yep.
You eventually met my daughter, and she just was super comfortable around you.
Mhm.
And as nice as I am, and as welcoming as I am, and as kind as I believe myself to be, I don't play.
Right.
I fight you. I, I
Yeah.
working on it. I'm working on it. I'm working in progress, guys. But no, I've always been a fighter too. So I'm very protective of my space and the people that are in it, which include my family. And so when I saw that my unit, my tribe was comfortable with you, that was kind of a green light for me. Like, you know what? This might be all right.
Mhm.
This might be all right.
And you know what?
So
Likewise,
yeah, I hope that answers your question.
yeah, no, it does, and I felt just as comfortable being around your tribe. Like when I remember meeting,
Yeah.
meet your parents for the first time. In fact, I think your mom was out like doing some gardening or something when I came over for the first time.
That sounds like my
Yeah,
mom. Yep.
but and see, and this is a thing too. Like I didn't have any context because I'm not from the area, and I didn't know how revered your father was. Right? I learned who your father was, and I knew of him from afar because he's an
Yeah.
amazing bass player, and he's
Yes.
just legendary. But I didn't know
Shout out to Chuck
Chuck
Smith.
Smith, yes, but I didn't know of his
Dad.
his reputation in town. So
Mm.
I have no context, but man, your parents were they loved me immediately, and I loved them immediately. And
And you know what?
go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was just saying the same with Aviana, our daughter. Like it was just like it was for me to not have any kids and to walk into a relationship with you with a daughter, who's got her own
Oh
relationship with
yeah.
her father, you know,
Right.
and
Right.
we have over the years blossomed. We got our own thing, right? But
Mm-hmm.
it was
Y'all do.
in the beginning. It was great. Like I I just knew it was right from the beginning.
You know what's interesting? That something that's being highlighted to me right now is you talked about how you didn't have any context of who you was dealing with. Okay. You didn't know you didn't know me that well yet. You didn't know where I come from. You didn't know my pedigree. You didn't know who I'm connected to and all that stuff, right? All the extra stuff. But I also didn't know that same thing with you.
Mm-hmm.
Like it started later as I was around, started putting two and two together and looking around, going, okay, this is what it is because you never led with this is who I am, this is what I've done, and this is who I'm related to.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't do that. I didn't do that either.
Right.
So yeah, that's that. I'm just really thinking about that.
Your gestures are like popping up like emojis. It's so funny, but
Sorry. I hope all the gestures are great.
No,
I'm just
it's
testing it
all
out,
good.
guys.
It's all good.
Sorry. This is this is comical.
It's
Like,
very comical.
wow. I'm
It's
probably like giving like
yeah,
thumbs up
it's
and
definitely a first on this podcast, but yeah, so
ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Lane Show.
absolutely. But yeah,
I'm just kidding.
we hit it off immediately,
Yeah.
and we got married 7 months after we met. Like we would see, but I think we had lived enough life and kind of knew what we wanted. And I just told
Hmm.
somebody this. I told this to my brother. You know, you got to have a vision for marriage. And I'm not saying we had
Yeah.
everything laid out perfectly for our vision, but I knew that I wanted to be with you, and that was enough vision. And I
Mm,
believe God.
come on, Vision.
Yeah, look, the Bible is just true. You know, a man who finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor from God. And that is one thing that I can say about my life is that since we have been together, my life has been absolutely favored.
Amen.
Period.
Meet favor, y'all. Meet favor.
That look,
Favor.
it's one of your nicknames. People still call you favored because that was your Facebook handle for a long time.
Yeah, until they made me change it.
Right. Right.
Sorry. Well, I was the little bitterness just came out just then. I need to work on that. Yeah, my page name used to be Favored Fentress because I am favored,
Yeah.
and so and only by the by God. So thank you for that.
But you know what?
Facts,
You
truth.
know what's interesting too, babe? Like even at our
What?
wedding, the circumstances around our wedding, like people just blessed us. Like we didn't hardly have to pay for anything because people we
And
didn't
it was
even know.
people we didn't even know.
Yes, crazy.
People that we didn't know heard that we were getting married and were like, "Oh my gosh, can I do the cake? Oh,
Hmm.
can I provide this? Can I?" And I'm like, "Yeah, come one, come all." And we had a great time. Ended up opening up the invites to everybody. In fact, I remember asking the church to put our invitation in the church announcement.
Oh, you did? I don't remember that.
Yeah, because I couldn't keep up with all of the people that I wanted to be there. So I was like, "Hey, everybody, come." I invited some people that I met at a restaurant one night. These two guys. Do you remember we used to go to Brooklyn Jazz?
Hmm.
And I remember meeting these guys there, and we just connected. They were there. My dad was playing with somebody, and we were just talking. We connected. I was like, "Hey," and I'm getting married. Da 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 da. And I started telling them about you, and they knew who you were.
Okay.
They had never met you, but I was like, "Hey, do y'all want to come to the wedding?" I legit invited these two random dudes that I had just met at the restaurant.
Look,
That's my
that
life.
is your life. You don't meet strangers. You really
I
don't.
don't. I should meet some strangers, but it's all good.
Yeah.
I love people.
Needless to say, we had an amazing like start to how we met and how we cultivated our relationship and how we got
Yeah.
eventually to our wedding. And you know, we're here 17 years later. Like it's crazy to think like it don't feel like it's been that long.
Listen, insert Dorinda Clark Cole here. I am still here.
Yes,
It's
it is. No,
but I think we've had a good life so far. You know what I mean? Like,
absolutely. And and
I know I drive you crazy sometimes, but hey,
look, and nobody's perfect. I'm certainly not perfect. But one thing that I will say that I know this for
what?
sure is that we do genuinely like each other.
Yeah, you cool. You cool peeps.
Yeah. And that's important for a marriage.
Yeah.
Cause
Yeah, you're a
trust
cool
me,
guy.
how many people and couples do we know that that's not the case?
Oh gosh.
It's
Yeah.
it's
I
crazy. We're definitely
yeah.
blessed to you know to actually enjoy being around one another. And
Yeah.
I think what it is that we allow each other to kind of just be themselves, you know,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
you know this is how it is. I can't really explain it. We just connect like that. It's really just by the grace of God. I'm thankful for that, and I'm just excited for more and more and more and more anniversaries to come. So, but
Amen.
that's the story around how we met. And again,
Hmm.
we're celebrating our anniversary the day this episode comes out, and I'm just
Yep.
thankful that you are just you're such a wonderful person, babe. I just want you to know that, saying
Thank
it
you.
publicly, you're an amazing person, and my life has
Thank
been
you.
blessed greatly because of you. So thank you.
Well, thank you very much. I feel the same way.
Oh, thank you, babe.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I'm happy to and then I know we're going to move on to a different topic, but I'm happy that I've heard people say stick it and stay it, right?
Hmm.
Just because things get bumpy or rough doesn't mean that you go, you know what, I'm done.
Yeah.
You got to work, and it's work, whether it's work within the self, work with one another. Work is work,
Hmm.
and marriage can be work, but it can be fun work
Yeah.
if you find the fun in it. We just have a lot of fun, and we have a lot of life, and so I think
Yeah.
that really really helps. And of course, at the core and the center of everything is God.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
anyways, I'm done preaching about that.
Hey,
I'm not preaching today.
look,
So,
but that's a great segue because
hmm
you have your own platform, your
hmm
platforms that you know so
yeah,
many ways that you express yourself, and talk to the people out there just about some of the things that you got going on. Tell us about your the podcast that you're a part of, your whatever you want to talk about, your music, everything, like what's going on with
well,
Lane.
woo. Okay. Thank you for the outline because that gives me a framework to kind of move within. Well, I'll start with well, I won't say the most recent thing because most everything that I'm doing is going at the same time. But I am a podcast personality on an entertainment based podcast called Talkin' Tunes Podcast. And so that is a podcast that was founded, created, and we're journeying together. In fact, we just wrapped season one with myself and my brother, King Logan. He's a producer in the Dallas Fort Worth area, and he's done some amazing things. And so we came together. I won't bore you with that story, but we've been together for years, and so we developed this podcast, and it's been a lot of fun. We film, we record, we learn, we discover, we wash, rinse, and repeat. Okay, and so stay tuned for season two for those of you who follow us on that platform. Let's see. I'm also a recording artist. I've released music. I believe my first single came out in 2020.
Yep.
Am I right?
Yep.
2020. Okay. My first song, it was called Long Road Home, and that was written by Robert Brown about me and my story, my journey. And, it was like COVID
Yeah.
was at all time high. We were kind of quarantined, right, during that stage.
Yes.
And you and I decided, hey, let's invest in our gifts, our talents, our studio, technology. And we recorded that. And then I kept recording. And in fact, I'm currently working on another album, which I'm
Yes.
excited about
Me
because this
too.
one's going to have a different vibe to it. I know you're excited. By the way, y'all, Darius is my recording and mixing engineer.
Yes.
Now, my first single was mixed by Rico Gonzalez, who's one of my favorite people on the planet.
Shout out to
Shout
Rico.
out to my A1. I call him A1. He calls me A2. But let's see, working on an album. Oh, and I'm giving life to my YouTube channel, which is LANEshia Music, and I have it's kind of like a leadership, inspirational, encouragement channel on there that's called Living the Light with Lane, and it's just me sharing my lesson. I am a public speaker and I do speak for corporate events and groups, and I like to share the hard lessons and share the light in those lessons on my platforms. So there's that. What else do I do?
It's a lot. You got a
I,
lot coming.
marketing
Yeah.
campaigns.
You got a lot coming that we're not going to delve into the details of some of it, but I want y'all who
No.
are watching and listening to be looking out for more from LANEshia. It's some great things, guys. She thinks about
Thank you.
people all the time and thinks about how she can give her best to people to bring people up. And she just wants to bless y'all with the giftings and talents that she has. So, babe, you're doing a really amazing job of just putting everything out there. I know we both kind of
Thank you.
made the decision to, like, okay, we're gonna bet on ourselves. We're gonna
That's a good
stop.
way to put that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, we're gonna really trust God and just put it all out there and let Him do what He wants to do. And
Yeah.
that's all we can do, and trust Him with it and have Him use it how He wants to. But we've seen, and you get this all the time. You get a lot of feedback from the various things that you do for
Yeah.
people. Just talk to us a little bit about the impact that you see your giftings are making on people, and how does that make you feel?
Huh. Woo. That, wow. Okay. I wasn't ready for that. Thanks for not prepping me for this interview slash conversation. Because I don't like to be prepped for interviews, to be honest with you. I like to just come from the heart. And that's really a sensitive space for me because you're looking at somebody who, you know, I think that I've always had good intentions towards people. And I've learned in the journey that sometimes that my intentions can be misinterpreted. So I'm having to check in with myself to make sure that you know, things are going the way that they should. And if I have a bumpy moment or I hit some turbulence with somebody, that I deal with that and make sure that we're clear on communication and things like that. Because I, quite frankly, have had my heart broken thinking that I was doing something well or doing something right for somebody and it was not coming across as such. And so that's probably been a big lesson for me. I do get real time feedback from a lot of groups that I speak to, a lot of leaders in the corporate marketplace with groups that I get a chance to speak to, talking about the impact that I've made and a message that I've shared. And honestly, I'm literally just sharing my life story with people.
Mm-hmm.
And I just avail myself in that space because I feel like, part of my mission is to minimize the amounts of times that I hear people say, I wish I would have, I wish I could have, and I should have.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm like, if I can help people in that space, then we win, right? I want to see people win, and I will go to the ends of the earth making that happen. I do get in trouble sometimes doing too much or being extra. I think somebody might have said recently that I was a little extra, but I can't help it. I just want to see people win. I want to see people do well. I want to give up my resources. I want to let people know that as long as you have breath in your body, you have a pulse, you have the ability to be better today than you were yesterday because we met, right?
Yeah.
You have the ability to go wherever it is that you say you want to go because I was able to cheer you on. So that might sound a little haughty, but that's really how I think about people. So
But that's you living in your truth, living in your
yeah,
gifting, and you are
thank you.
impacting a lot. And I'm a recipient of that as well. So I've grown leaps and bounds because of who you are. And
Well,
it's
thank you.
only like I see the way people are changed by you, and I just want to encourage you to never stop. Just keep being who you are, and the sky's the limit. Sky's the limit.
Or the sky is your stage.
Hey,
That's how I like to say it.
yeah, that's good. Okay, babe,
Yeah.
we gonna wrap this up, but I want you to tell where can people find you on social media, and just
Mhm.
tell us anything that you want people to know about how they can find you.
Okay. So you can find my YouTube page. It's LANEshia Music. I got all kinds of fun stuff on there. Music videos that I've shot, filmed, my inspiration page, Living the Light with Lane. You can follow me on Instagram. It's LANEshia Music. You can follow me on Facebook. It's LANEshia Fentress or LANEshia Fentress. It just depends on how you want to say my name. My name is LANEshia. Some people call me LANEshia, and more people are calling me Lane these days, which I'm totally cool with. I actually really like it a lot.
Hmm.
So LANEshia Fentress on Facebook, LANEshia Music on Instagram, LANEshia Music on YouTube, or you can just go straight to my website. It's laneshia.com. That's LANESHIA.com.
Yes, yes, and like she said, all that stuff on the website. You could find her music. You could find her music videos. Soon we'll be posting some other things on there to keep you guys updated. But please follow her. It's so much good stuff that she shares on a daily basis. So please follow her and connect with her because she's going to engage with you. Trust me, she's very good about that.
Bye.
Yeah, yeah. So, babe, before we go, I
Mhm.
want you to just give people some advice. Anything that's on your heart that you want to leave with the people who are listening to this platform, share with them and just give them what you want to give them.
Wow, so many things I like to share in real time. So one thing I want to encourage you with that I'm walking through, I should say right now, is be willing to stand up for what's right, no matter how hard it might feel or look to people. Do the right thing. In fact, here's a quote that I share with some of my groups that I speak with, and it comes from my dad. Really, be found guilty of doing the right thing always. Love people before that. Love yourself. Okay, do what you got to do to fill up your tank, whatever that is, so that people can benefit from the overflow of the amazing you. That's what I want to share with everybody.
That's amazing. Thank you so much. Again,
Thank
thank
you.
you for being on my show. I know you didn't have
Thank
to do
you.
this, but I'm grateful that you did, and I'm grateful that we got a
Yeah.
chance to tell people about our story a little bit, and and this won't be the last time you're on this show. So
Yeah,
appreciate
because
you.
there's so much more to come, y'all. More to
Yes,
come. Thank you so much. Thanks for having me on your show. And thank you to your listening audience. I know some of you might not know me, but I'm very privileged to be here. And thank you guys for supporting in the studio with Darius.
yes. Thank y'all, and please like, share, comment, and subscribe to this channel on YouTube. You can listen on Apple Podcasts and other podcast platforms. Engage with me on social media, guys. You can find me at Darius Fentress on Instagram and Facebook. And again, y'all, this has been an amazing show. This has been an amazing time of us just hanging out in the studio. And until next time, peace.